Welcome to Virtually Unbreakable Podcast, where we inspire you to live happier and more fulfilling lives. My name is Ella, and I'm your host. Today, my guest is the one and only Inga Dexne. Inga is an intuitive business and social media strategist who works with individuals to make their online presence both enjoyable and profitable. Inga is also a founder of a very special community called Magical Creators, a business growth platform for intuitive entrepreneurs. And Magical Creators is a place where best kept entrepreneurial secrets are shared and put to action. Inga, so nice to see you here today. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
I'm excited as well to be speaking to you about this because there's lots to share and lots of valuable information that people, I feel, can really benefit from. So you are the guiding force behind Magical Creators community, which I'm lucky to be part of as well. And it's a place where people who specialize in helping others can network, exchange ideas, learn from one another, and put those amazing ideas into action. What a great community! Where did the idea come from for this?
Idea actually came 7 years ago, and among my friends we were talking in the mastermind, and they were saying that I have so much knowledge that it's easier to ask to me rather than going on Google and trying to find out, because then you need to understand which of the answers is correct. And they suggested that I need to create a membership group where people can ask questions, topical questions, whatever is going on in your business, and you have a place where you can ask those questions. And back then, I didn't believe that anyone would pay money for that.
Right.
And only when 3 of my friends paid annual fee for this membership, this is how it was created. And then when I made an offer to the public, 15 more people said yes for a year. And I still have 3 members who renewed their membership since 2016. And
wow, that's a good sign, isn't it?
And for me, it's a good kind of confirmation that it's needed. And it's a place, sometimes in the membership, you have a lot of content and you need to consume it. Here, even if you don't participate actively every week, you still benefit because you have this, as it was called, your safety blanket, where when you need, you can tap into those resources. And so this is how the idea came about. And the name Magical Creators is because I believe we all have magic in us. And by providing our services, sharing our gifts, we create magic on daily basis. And the thing is, not many people are aware that you have your magic. So Magical Creators community helps you to become visible to other people, helps you to convey your message, share your gifts, telling people that here I am, I can help you. And it's through social media presence most of the time.
So how many members do you have at the moment, Inga?
At the moment, we are around 40. And as you know, the nature of membership, people can join, rejoin, and it fluctuates all the time. And I think since its conception, we had around 200 people come and go. And it's
wonderful. Okay.
At the moment, it's kind of smallish group. So we have weekly calls, and it means that people can get individual help, which is good. Of course, as a founder of the membership, I would love to have hundreds and thousands even members. And this is what I started acting as if, how I would serve people if we have 100 members at the same time, with 1,000 members at the same time. This is, I also teach inside the membership how you prepare yourself to the level which you want to achieve.
What do you see? So I have a few questions about this group, Magical Creators, here, because I'm relatively still new to it. How would you describe the typical member in terms of job profile or what they do for living?
Well, it's different levels. There are some people who just starting out.
Okay.
There are people who are more established, like all my friends are still there in the group. They are acting as an expert now, but you always have questions. So it doesn't matter what level of success you have reached. It will be suitable to anyone because you have different questions. And the thing is, I'm not providing like, this is my level of knowledge, do what I say. It creates a space where people can come and voice their questions. Sometimes they come just to sit around in the energy. So this, if I can have a common trait of people inside Magical Creators, high vibe. So in their presence, they may say nothing, but just be on the screen, and you would still benefit from being in the circle of these people. It's high vibe people who make difference in this world. Okay,
great. And I understand it's open for everyone, so anyone can join it at the moment.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Okay. And based on your experience, what are the most common issues we entrepreneurs face when it comes to showing up online? Because so that's a slightly different question now, because you are also someone who is a marketing expert and social media expert and a strategist. So you, over the times, as well as leading this group, founding this group, and working with various customers over the years, you must have noticed certain patterns in terms of building online community, building our network of followers. What are the patterns and let's say the biggest mistakes or the biggest misunderstandings when it comes to us entrepreneurs?
I wouldn't call it like a mistake, but one of the pitfalls for many of us, me included, is fear.
Okay.
And what I'm saying, how to identify that you are taking the wrong path or a wrong action, is if it's fear-led. So the moment you're guided by fear, like questions, what will people think of me, whether I will be judged, like fear of judgment. The moment you notice that your internal conversation is fear-based, it's a clear indication that you're on the wrong pathway. The same way, if you don't do something because you're afraid of something. So that would be fear. Then, and I think it's like overall overarching issue, because from this everything else resurfaces. For instance, if you are afraid of being visible or being judged, you will start believing in the stories that you are not very good at doing messages, or I'm not good at technology. This is the most heard statement prior joining this group. People who say, I'm not good with technology. And very often it becomes an excuse. So I can't do this because I'm not very good with technology. I can't grow my email list because I am struggling with technology. And during the calls, I'm pointing out those fears as well, because this is a blend of mindset, energy, and strategies. And no matter how good the strategy is, all the tactical steps, if we don't address mindset, nothing will work. I can come up with so many suggestions, but the person still wouldn't do unless they address what stops them.
Yeah. So we really need to learn to dig deep and understand how can we improve our presence online if we fully embrace our fear, and perhaps focus on our purpose more, right?
Absolutely.
Because if we remind ourselves of what our purpose is, what our product or service is supposed to be there for, how can we serve others, and we focus on that message behind that, instead of being too self-conscious in front of camera. So it's through practice, really, right? We can improve
Yes.
that through practice.
But yeah, and these are kind of surface level fear. It can be hidden fear that you're not aware. And that's why I encourage members to come onto the calls, because we uncover those fears accidentally, almost through the conversation, through listening to other people. I can share transparently my fears that I uncovered for myself was when on different platform, one of my video kind of went viral. It got over 19,000 views and 500 likes, new followers. It's relatively small platform. But what I've noticed, my reaction was, thanks God, it's platform almost nobody knows, and it's not TikTok or Instagram, because for a moment, it felt terrifying to be so visible. And on the surface, I'm teaching about being visible, go and serve the world. However, I still have those fears in terms of it's not safe to be visible. And so this situation showed me that I need work on my internal beliefs and working on kind of removing them.
Okay, thank you for sharing. That's very relatable, I'm sure, to many people. And what does it mean to you? So both the Magical Creators Group and your work with individuals and companies is very much in line with your higher values, we could say. So and you are quite intuitive and spiritual person as well. And what does it mean to you to live and work consciously?
It's basically when you're making a choice how you want your life unfold on a day-to-day basis. And this is a practice that I introduce in the group. When you start asking yourself, when you wake up, like, what I want to experience today, you're not reacting what life throws at you. And even like it's impossible to set intention. I want to have a wonderful day. Everything is hunky-dory and nothing will happen. Of course, and especially in the beginning, when you start practicing these approaches, life will test you. And even when you have a stressful situation, it's you pause a bit and you decide how you want to react. You want to process events rather than blindly going and being triggered. So I have trained myself, so to speak. When I have a reaction, I ask myself what caused it, and then I process it. Of course, it's healthy to just react. It's impossible to be robotic and analyzing, this event happened, what it teaches me. Sometimes you just need to feel, but this is a choice. So yes, you can spend 5 minutes feeling sorry for yourself. You can spend 5 minutes feeling, I'm such a failure. And for instance, when we are running our businesses, self-doubt is inevitable. It's impossible not to doubt yourself. And sometimes it can be on a daily basis. It's just what you do with those doubts. This is your conscious choice.
Totally. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think being reactive is very human-like. but at the same time, learning how to be less reactive can be very beneficial to both your relationship and your business. Because people and events will always trigger us. We all had a childhood. In the childhood and early years, right? We experience different events, we experience different people, different personalities. We stored loads of that in our subconscious mind as a norm or a belief. And when we come across someone or something that reminds us of those negative experiences, we get triggered and we react. But it's important to learn, I feel, to try to break that pattern, because otherwise it will just be present for the rest of our lives. It will keep coming back every time, for example, somebody shouts at you, raises their voice, or someone's rude to you without a reason. You might start crying, or you might just feel really, really insecure and spend hours or days doubting yourself, right? Because if people keep treating you in a certain way in certain situations, you might think, what the hell is wrong with me? Like, what do I need to improve? How do I need to be different? And you start questioning yourself. This actually, funny enough, happened to me recently when someone, I think I might have mentioned it to you actually, someone was quite arrogant to me, someone I know quite well, for no reason. Just showed their true colors, where maybe in the past they made more effort with hiding their true colors, but now it kind of just kind of let themselves be their real authentic self and just be quite arrogant. And I questioned myself, why did that happen to me? What have I done wrong? Moreover, why do I attract people who are arrogant towards me? And how can I build that assertiveness? But it's the ability to notice those feelings, right? Inside us. It's the self-awareness.
Yes.
Building that self-awareness, that is so key here.
But it's also those people, they are like doctors, they are indicating to you that something hasn't been healed. Because if that person questioned you on different subject, right, you wouldn't react, because this is only if you still have a wound. When somebody touches you, it will hurt. So people who trigger us, they are our doctors. That invite to heal the situation more.
Okay. And how do you think we can all make a difference to ourselves and the world around us by living more consciously?
Simply by making a decision that we want to live more consciously, that we want to experience life to the fullest. And if everyone decides that they want to make this place better around them, when everyone comes from the place of service, but also putting your interests first as well, and being mindful of other people, then it will be more harmonious environment. And it's about finding your people, because I thought I'm always exposed to magical creators, and I was always under impression that this is how we live. This is, you speak the same language, you have the same values. And it's only when I traveled back to my home country where people were less inclined to intuition or energy work, and they think differently, I've realized the value of being surrounded by like-minded people. It's so important, because then you don't need to prove that, you're not a weird person. You just can say, a weirdo in me salutes weirdo in you.
Yeah,
it
you accept yourself for who you are, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So in a way, living more consciously means creating a better community and better environment around us to help us and others thrive.
Yes.
because we are consciously deciding every day or every week through our routines, we are deciding, is this who I want to be? Is this how I want to show up? Is this what my business stands for? And by being conscious and developing that self-awareness, we are bringing the best out of us and letting others see that and be inspired by that, I suppose.
Yes.
Okay, lovely. And Inga, last but not least, you were one of the first people who I've actually invited to have a look at my book, and one of the first people who read it. The book is called Finding Love, as many people know. And how did you find it? Like, it was very random request. I realized that. Thank you for taking time to read it. But Finding Love is a book that was created to inspire others to find love within themselves so that they can create more love around them. How did you find the book? Be honest.
Yeah, no, this is what I liked most about it, that it talks about finding love towards yourself first, because you can't expect other people to fix you or give you something that is missing in your world. And when I read the book, so basically the book came this year when I decided it's time for me to change my love situation. I was so comfortable being single and not dealing with the relationships or compromise or kind of being open to other people, so to speak. And the moment I decided, I'm ready. So your book came about.
Wow. Do you have a copy there in front of you?
Oh, yeah.
And you show everyone. Great. Yes. Thank you so much.
So, and it was a sign, when you make a decision, so you start getting the ways how to make your wish come true. And it was important reminder to find a relationship with myself. And I was also talking to my friends. I was so against all the online dating world, and I just wanted it to happen. You wake up and you're in relationships, and before that, you need to have relationship with yourself. And so I started going on a dates with myself, where I was imagining this is how I want to spend my free time, and understanding what is it that I want from relationship, how I want to show up in relationships. And there are like various exercises inside the books that is very helpful. And I really enjoyed it. And I'm now actively dating. So from denying everything, from refusing to entertain the whole process. So I'm moving a little bit more towards finding love. But I think I found it towards myself, and it's a nice feeling when you are able to finally accept you just the way you are.
Was that one of the key takeaways that came from the book? What were the main things?
Absolutely,
that you've learned?
It's about having a relationship with yourself and being clear what you want from your relationships, because I know for sure I'm happy to stay single till the end of my life, and rather than compromise on my values, compromise on my happiness. I want to find, and I'm not saying that it means that the relationships will be easy or there is no compromise in small things, but it's about finding the person that you feel aligned with, like finding your person. But in order to do so, you need to know who you are.
I saw a quote recently somewhere. I really liked it. It was, it's not about finding the perfect person. It's about creating the right relationship. Right? And I think The book is also, my idea was that it acts as a reminder to people that they have 50% of the power in the relationship. They are as powerful as the other person. It's not about that things happen to them in relationships and in love life. It's about feeling empowered to decide, how do I want this relationship to be? What do I want to experience? How should this person support me in different things? What are my expectations from the relationship? And what can I give, right? How can I be of value to the other person? And also I've heard another thing, which was like, it's not about finding the perfect person, is about becoming the perfect partner. So it's like, if everyone actually made a proactive effort to work on themselves, live more consciously, connect with themselves, with their true identity, we would all have a world of perfect partners potentials, right? Because it's about starting from yourself, understanding what happened. I'm really happy to hear you enjoyed it. Who would you recommend it to? Who would you recommend the book to?
Well, I think it's like somebody like me who decides that, okay, I'm ready to explore relationships. And I also saw like people who are in relationship already, because this book talks a lot about communicating your needs, and it's about communication. So I think it's perfect partner is just kind of like the idea. It doesn't need to be perfect without the flaws. I think as long as we can communicate without accusing anyone or without making any assumptions, if we are clear of what is it that we want, and we can communicate it, and the other person can do the same, we are golden.
Yeah. It's also about, just one comment from me, I think it's also a lot with regards to building successful relationship and maintaining one. It's a lot about being curious about the needs of the other person. So not just focusing on yourself and what you need and why you need it and how can they give it to you. Instead, understanding, okay, I am this, and this person is that. And every time I say this, that potentially triggers them. How can we find a style of communication and a way of showing each other empathy that will truly work for us? So it's like this dance, right, coming together. And you rightly said the book is a lot about communicating your needs, because it's the communication that often gets broken first, as a first step when things start going wrong. Well, that's wonderful. Is there any tip you would like to give to our listeners or viewers who either want to join a Magical Creators community or are considering working with an expert like yourself to boost their online media presence? What can you offer? What's your tip here?
Well, I would say decide what you want to have in your business, because the moment you clarify the problem or the question, then you can find the solution. So it's paraphrasing, I think it's Tony Robbins who said, the quality of your life depends on the quality of your questions. So this is about asking the right question and being clear of what is it that you want to achieve in your business, in your life in general as well. And you're welcome to try Magical Creators community. We have weekly calls where we talk not just about the business, but we talk about what happens in your life, because everything is connected.
True. Very true. Okay, fantastic. Well, Inga, it's been fantastic talking to you. Thank you for your time. I will include the links to Magical Creators Community, your profile with your website, as well as the book underneath this video. Thank you so much for today, and I wish you a lovely day.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.